Santa had a trip down on Earth to meet Stan's family and celebrate Christmas with them. Really. He didn't want revenge for that rifle shot. Sure. Alright, our first player-made map for Christmas themed. Oh, here we got a barrel. A little bit of a mess here. So good old happy holidays. I know it's still a bit early in the season. But if you saw my previous one where I did the Viscera made map, Runestorm's version of Christmas, that DLC, I hadn't played any of the player-made Christmas maps. So Fun Advantage, this is all new to me. Oops. Oh no! Ah, the dang reindeer! Santa! It's like a war zone out here. I would love to play the Christmas music. I keep getting hit with copyright for it. Oh. Oh, they stabbed him with the candy cane. Oh no. Close that side. Such a mess. So many guns. Was the elves the gun-toting elves? I have questions. I also feel like that TNT isn't deep enough in that water. Candy canes are glowing in the dark. I am looking for not seeing. See how far will it let me go out? Okay. Far. Question. Is this a I will burn fire? I don't think so, because it's not doing the catch fire animation. You know, I did read the description. Of course, I don't remember any of it. guy. By the way, that is a collectible. You can bring it back home. I've just never been one for creating my space with living animal parts, or dead animal parts, I guess. Oh, goodness. Why did the elves have a machine gun? Use this barrel to up all these little bullets. I used to work, pre-pandemic, I used to work for a printing company. I know I've talked about it before, but they also had a FedEx shipping center out of it. Well, FedEx drop zone is what they were really called. And we were the only one in my small little town, which really is surprising because we're not that small of a town. But anyway, we were the only FedEx. People would have to go quite a ways to find a true FedEx store. And for the longest time, we kept having this one gentleman come in who actually turned out to be a family friend. In the way of my town, people seem to know each other, with the exception of me, because I don't remember faces at all. I barely remember names. But anyway, so this guy, I guess I didn't realize that he kind of knew me, like he knew of me, but he never really saw much of me, which was fine. But he was an old family friend, but going into this story, I didn't know that. But anyway, being a FedEx drop zone, we would always have to ask the question of, what's in the box? And sometimes customers would get really iffy on answering. And he, especially himself, but turns out he was a taxidermist, and he hated the question because he never wanted people to start arguing with him about why taxidermy is evil and blah, blah, blah. And so finally one time I asked him, and I can tell he really didn't want to answer me, and I was like, I finally just, when I said I told him, I have a fairly large family, blue collar family. If it wasn't for the family hunting in the wintertime, or, well, in November for us, there would be times where, we would have to ask, where was the food coming from? Hunting meat just made it easier for us to have food, basically all it was. So I said, I can't judge him for, his taxidermy business. Because again, not particularly any of my business, I just needed to know what was in the box to fill out the forms. And that made him so happy that from then on, he only ever wanted to deal with me. But once he realized that he actually knew my dad, he did realize that I wasn't kidding. My dad is a pretty avid hunter, but I myself am not a hunter. I cannot shoot Bambi. I'll eat Bambi, but I can't shoot him. And to be honest, I actually don't eat much of Bambi because venison does not sit well on my tummy. You know what made me think of this story was this meat chunk right here. Anyway. Nice enough guy. But then, oh my goodness, I just remember this part too. But then years after helping him ship his taxidermy, he would drop off something once or twice a week. FedEx came down with a new rule that my previous job could no longer take taxidermy stuff. They didn't want to participate. They didn't want the drop zones to participate in the shipping of animal products or byproducts. And so one day he came in and I had to tell him that this was the last time I was going to take it because FedEx says so. I was really upset. I guess he called my dad, complained about it. My dad was like, well, you do realize, like, she's the lowest on the totem pole. She just shows up for a paycheck. Which was true. It was not any particular job I had any love for. As time went on, they kept changing what I was doing for them as far as the company. Like, I was hired as a graphic designer and / printer, like just a simple printer, like hit the print button and print someone out 100 copies, double-sided, blah, blah, blah. That was usually my job, but as time went by, they kept eliminating the graphic design aspect of it and kept turning me into just a basic printer, which I guess I didn't particularly mind for the paycheck either, because I wasn't full-time and my freelance gig going. But then they started to expand me out to the rest of the store, and I was like, okay, I'm done. Like, I will always be on the creative side versus the non-creative side. And heaven help me, the amount of Karens that are in a print center is pretty fabtabulous. The ones that would walk in just before close being like, I need 300 6-page double-sided collated and stapled 10 minutes to close, and we're like, not gonna happen. I do miss the print center side of it. Like, I really do. Like, I liked that part of it. There was certain challenges that came with it. Oh, but man, the second they sent me to the regular sales floor to start doing stuff there and meeting people who needed their ink, but all they could remember about their printer was that it was HP. And it was always HP, even if it wasn't HP. And then there would be like, well, can't you look up what printer I have? Did you buy it here? No. No. Which is probably giving you guys plenty of hints to know what kind of company, or what company I worked for. Come on. It's a bit nice to have a change of setting of being outside. It's been a while since we've been outside. There's not many outside maps. I know partly because there's always FPS issues. Come on. haven't seen Rudolph yet. Oh, I can't get there. Oh man. Is Santa dropping off bombs? Was that his Christmas present? These are taking up too much space. Are you empty cartridges? Cannot. No. So many bullet casings. I mean, it makes sense. It's around the machine gun, but still. Carefully walking this over because I just know I'm gonna bounce and drop the bullets, casings everywhere. Alright, I don't feel like putting these in water, so we're just gonna deal with the aftermath. Oh. Never know if the closed door ever helps at all, but I do it anyway. Maybe? I don't know. I don't know. We're gonna sit this right here. I have no idea if these machines give out what they give out. It's always like Russian roulette when it comes to player-made maps. Sometimes they give out nothing. Like they have the arms disabled. Or they'll give you TNT. And since this is the Christmas map, I'm actually half expecting TNT. do know I have. Oop, I forgot to empty out my Santa hat from previous. Well, the one thing I haven't seen yet is, was there a machine, a vending machine? Nice thing about the elves, they don't have a second meat chunk form. They just poof. Ooh, the reindeer have a second form, though. Interesting. remember it. It's hard to get their little limbs. Because it's hard for the lightsaber to know what is their limbs. You can tell by the way that the sparks shoot if you got them or not. Santa made a mess. Oh, you can put the fire out? Say what? Interesting. I did not know that. That was completely by accident, but I guess we'll take our happy accidents. Uh-oh. That's the lightsaber. Oh, I see it. It's over there. I have a craving to play Cyberpunk 2077 again. I enjoyed my first playthrough. I just had a hard, every time I tried to go back, or I guess I shouldn't say every time. The one time I tried to go back and play it, I had a really bad glitch and I just wasn't motivated to play it. If you guys would like me to see playing it, you guys could be a great motivator to play. Let me know in the comments. I'm not big enough of a YouTuber to have the conversation of do you want to see me. Yeah, let me know. This is a dirty bucket. Oops. Alright, I guess on our way back to the bin, let's grab some intestines. find it hilarious that we can put the fire out. I wonder if that's been a mechanic in the game that I never knew about, and I can't think of any map that had that, though. But I find it pretty clever. See those elf eyes in the lightsaber? Glow of the lightsaber? That was kind of actually freaky. I don't know why I walked this all the way over here. Mostly because I wanted a bucket, but... Slather this up with some barbecue. Be so yummy. I do have a craving for ribs. Meat is really expensive right now. And of course, now that's really expensive and I don't want to buy it because it's too expensive. I've been really craving it. Chunk right here. Yep. Oop, I melted something I shouldn't have. Weird textural floor thing going on. Nice matte sky. Definitely looks like a type of moon Santa would be crossing over on. Might as well grab some of these meat chunks and intestines. Oh. Very nice. I'm gonna guess that they have the bucket dispenser limb things turned off. We haven't gotten any. That was a really awful throw, wasn't it? For having an open sky. There, I feel better. Alright, that works. So this year, we're not going too crazy, my family and I, for Christmas, we're still keeping it on the small scale. And I actually did all my Christmas shopping really early, not intentionally. It just happenstance, just happened that way because I bought for my parents and they both had hinted early what they wanted, even though they didn't realize that that was what they were hinting at. Like so many people who struggle with buying their parents something, I just pretty much listened to their complaining all year about different things and then bought them what they were complaining that they didn't have. So this year, my dad didn't really have anything on that I could pick up that he wanted. So instead, I fell back to a trick that I always did when I was younger, was I would make them a picture. And I know that sounds hilarious, but I just took their dogs and did some background work and framed them all pretty on in Photoshop, and then sent it off to a place to have it printed on a blanket. And he loves it so much he shows it to everybody. And I was really nervous about giving it to him because he favors neutral colors, and I actually made the blanket very bright, nice bright colors. And I was a little afraid he'd hate it, but nope, he shows everybody who comes over. So it makes, I feel like I did a good job. And then friends too. I got them little presents all over, pretty early in the year. Which usually was consisting of me giving them a game that they wanted on Steam or whatever. Took my friend out for lunch. That's probably gonna be the last lunch I have for a long time because my small town is dealing pretty heavy from the Miss Rona. I know my dad needs a hip replacement and they've postponed it I don't know how many times now. Did I all the bodies? Cannot tell, but we're gonna put this away. Put that down. Water buckets all over the place. Doubt I can climb up here. Guess that third. Oh, guessed wrong. anything I can do about any fires. That can stay. Take this. Fair enough. Not wrong. Anything behind the house? And I get up that vehicle. Cannot. That tree is not on the ground. Right. Like we are done. I closed the cabinets, stacked the barrels. Do it real quick before I. Alright. Since we had the few explosions in the furnace. We were promoted. What? %. The only thing we missed was after this, be sure management are poo-pooing Bungles once again, but he remains defiant. Turn their frowns toward the sad. Bungles, Viscera juggling. Must have left something. Anyway, thank you guys so much. That is going to be our first player-made map. I actually liked it. It was short and sweet and didn't overstay its welcome.